Something that's always interesting is kind of understand how criminals operate. And we all know that there's a lot of reconnaissance that goes into criminal activity before they actually act. Can you talk about anything that was gleaned in either of your cases about how you were surveilled or how the attacker identified your company as a target? And maybe Harry, if you want to start.
Yeah, I think it's a fascinating story because you can go back to that period and read articles in the New York Times or the Washington Post, but there's a belief that the Chinese were gathering data about American citizens and building some kind of master repository to profile us. That's the thought behind these large attacks, and healthcare companies were specifically targeted. None of the data from our breaches appeared on the dark web. So, and the same thing with Anthem and Primera. So we think it's for some other purpose. And you can go back and look at these really interesting articles. What occurred with us was a very targeted phishing email sent to about 70 employees. They were all people identified to likely have elevated privileges. So we think they probably found this on LinkedIn, targeted. A lot of people put their work email on LinkedIn as a way to contact them. So about 70 employees got the email. We quickly identified and shut it down, but before we did, one person had clicked through, and it was a network administrator. And we knew about that. We knew that employee had clicked through in real time. We thought we had shut down what occurred, but the software was essentially so fast in downloading and then transversing the network with our credentials that we missed it. So that's kind of the heart of what occurred, but it all began with a very, very small number of targeted phishing emails sent to specifically identified employees.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Damian, how about in your case?
So in our case, I think the surveillance took place over a number of months, and they identified us as a target primarily because there was a financial interest in the adversaries. They know we were in the business of accepting a bunch of credit cards. We had a bunch of restaurants. And so how they were able to get into the environment, we did not determine specifically, but it was likely a phishing email targeted to several employees. And once that happened, the detection mechanism, unlike in Harry's case, the adversarial technique was occurring in a memory state only. So there weren't a bunch of malicious binaries floating around our network. The scripts that were being used were resident only in memory. So our AV, which is only looking at file signatures, weren't able to detect it at the time.
Wow.